Thank you, Rolando. Good morning, everyone. The United Nations and our humanitarian partners in Lebanon have just launched with the government a 3-month flash appeal to address rapidly escalating humanitarian needs in the country. The appeal aims to support 1 million people with humanitarian assistance. The ask to international donors is $426 million. Since mid-September, Lebanon has experienced an unprecedented surge in casualties and displacement. In just the past 2 weeks, more than 1,000 people have lost their lives and over 6,000 have been injured. Since October last year, and rapidly escalating in these past weeks, there are today an estimated 1 million people directly affected or displaced by the crisis. Those are the ones that we are responding to with the flash appeal. And that is according to the Lebanese authorities, those numbers. We and our NGO partners are already responding with food, nutrition for children, water and essential supplies such as mattresses and hygiene and emergency health kits, the basics for people's survival and well-being. Distribution is taking place, especially in collective sites housing displaced families. This appeal aims to rapidly reinforce and scale up these essential services in support of the government-led response, and we of course appeal to the donors to look at that and support it. I want to add that you will have seen in recent hours the reports of the beginning of an Israeli ground offensive in southern Lebanon, and we are deeply concerned about this development. We urge all parties to prioritize the protection of civilians, adhere to international humanitarian law, and engage in immediate de-escalation to prevent further loss of life and to prevent further suffering. Now, we have just launched this appeal for the needs that we know, but we fear that with these developments, things could get worse. Now, we have warned time and time again for almost a year against the widening of this conflict. And why do we do that? Because I think if there's one universal truth in humanitarian affairs, it is that it is infinitely easier and faster to break things and hurt people than it is to fix them. So de-escalate now.
Thank you very much, Jens. Let's maybe take questions strictly on the appeal. Then we do have Liz and her colleague from IFRC who will speak also to the situation in Lebanon, but let's take questions for Jens now. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, hi, Jens. You mentioned 1 million people in need. Do you know how many of them are Palestinian refugees in Lebanon? Can you disaggregate the number? And the other question is talking about finance again. How much is the flash appeal for Gaza finance right now? You're launching this one in Lebanon, but what's the percentage of the funding right now for the one in Gaza?
Thanks, Jeremy. The situation is rather chaotic, and people are still on the move and being displaced. And with the recent developments we're seeing, we should expect more displacement. Of course, mostly from southern Lebanon, but also from the southern densely populated suburbs of Beirut, which have also come under heavy attack. It is a mixed population group in Lebanon, as you know. I think we estimate there's about 1.5 million refugees from Syria over the decade or more of war and conflict there. There are Palestinian refugees as well. There are other nationalities. And, you know, they are spread out in some of the Palestinians have lived in camps, we know, in southern Lebanon. Others have settled there for a very long time, but still have status of refugee. So I can't give you a complete breakdown at the moment. What we look at when we issue an appeal like this is, okay, what is the totality of the needs over the past year? Because we are looking at an escalation in recent months, but it started 11 months ago with rockets flying in both directions, but particularly now into Lebanon. So 1 million is a target, it's a number we have from the government, and that's what we are trying to address with this, I would say, large appeal is for 3 months, over $400 million.
Thanks very much, Jens. Okay, Jamie Keaton, AP. Oh, sorry, you want to add before we go to you,
Excuse me,
Jamie?
I forgot the second one. Just to say, give me a second, and I will look up what the
Thanks, my
funding
bad.
is.
Okay, yeah, if we can get back on that one, and then we'll turn in the meantime to Jamie, AP.
Thanks, Rolando. I just wanted to know if anybody, either you or Jens or anyone else, but presumably you, can discuss the situation with the UNIFIL troops in Lebanon, particularly what their activities are given the ground incursion that was just referenced. I mean, are there any plans to do anything with those UNIFIL troops? Or are they just going to hunker down? Can you address that? Thanks.
Yeah, I think I'll need to connect. We don't have lines. I don't have lines at the moment, but I'll need to connect with our colleagues. We do have colleagues in Akur in the south, in the Blue Line area. So I'll just need to check with them and double back to you. If I get something during this briefing, I'll certainly share that with you. In the meantime, I don't know if you had another question for Jens specifically, or maybe the second part of that question. I don't know if you had anything for Jeremy yet, or should we go to the next question, Jens?
Next question then.
Okay, we'll do that. Still working. Casimiro at Geneva Solutions.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I was just wondering how many staff you have on the ground in Lebanon, and also in terms of logistics, how difficult it is at the moment, or yeah, just to give an idea of what it's like to actually get the essentials in, and where you're distributing them as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have an overall number of UN staff. There are a great many UN organizations in Lebanon. It's normally something we ask UN Department for Safety and Security about. I don't know if there are any concerns there, but there are certainly a substantial number of UN staff, and we have tragically seen several who have been killed. We know that many of them have been displaced as well, including staff from my own organization. So that is what I can say about that. In terms of logistics of getting stuff in and stuff out, it is not something that I have heard as an immediate concern. However, it's always of concern when we hear about, as we have heard in recent days, closure of airports, right, in Beirut, which has come under attack. That's always a concern. Moving things around, for now, seems to be possible, but it is a function of the hostilities and where the bombs may fall next.